After Team 7 successfully finds Tora, the lost cat of the Fire Daimyo's wife, they return it back to her. With their mission successfully completed, the third Hokage informs them of the available D-rank missions, such as babysitting the chief counselor's 3-year-old. Naruto expresses that he wants to go on a real mission that's exciting and challenging. Iruka lectures him, stating that like every beginner genin with no experience, he must start with simpler missions to develop his skills. The third goes on to explain that with a higher ranked mission comes higher difficulty and greater risk to the shinobi. However, Naruto exclaims that he is a ninja now and wants to be treated as such. Amused at his statement, the third decides to give the team a C-rank mission to escort Tajuna, a master bridge builder, to the Land of Waves. When Tajuna meets the team, he expresses disbelief in the fact that kids are going to be guarding him but works with them nonetheless. As they make their way to the Land of Waves, Tuchin and level Kirinin emerge from a puddle and binds Kakashi with shuriken-laced chains, before pulling and ripping him apart. With Kakashi defeated, the duo turns their attention to Naruto, who freezes up. Before they can land an attack, Sasuke intervenes and saves Naruto. The duo split up, leaving one behind as the other charges at Tajuna. Sakura steps in front of Tajuna to defend him before Sasuke appears in front of her to aid. Before anything further can happen, Kakashi appears and effortlessly defeats the duo, though Naruto does attain a small scratch from one of their metal gauntlets, which contain poison. It is revealed that Kakashi used the body replacement technique to escape the duo's initial attack, suspecting an ambush when he discovered their puddle on a clear day. Kakashi compliments Sasuke and Sakura for their courage but expresses disappointment in Naruto with how poorly he handled the situation. Tajuna questions why Kakashi took so long to help, with the latter explaining that he could have defeated them quickly but needed to know who their target was. Kakashi points out that their target was Tajuna and that had he told them that he would be hunted by ninja, the mission would be a B rank or higher, and a different team would have been assigned. Sakura suggests they quit the mission, not only due to the higher difficulty but because of Naruto's wound. Unwilling to jeopardize the mission, Naruto decides to take out a kunai and uses it to remove the poison from his hand. He then makes an oath that he will never run away or back down from any mission, threat, or enemy, as well as not lose to Sasuke. After this, Kakashi bandages Naruto's wound so he doesn't bleed out, but discovers that it had already begun to heal due to the nine-tailed demon fox. Elsewhere, Gato, the man who hired the demon brothers to eliminate Tajuna, complains about their failure to Zabuza, the duo's apparent boss. Zabuza raises his Kubikaribasho at Gato to shut him up, and states that he will handle it himself. Gato informs him that they will be expecting another assault and that a high-level ninja is accompanying Tajuna. This doesn't faze Zabuza, who just replies that he is the demon of the hidden mist. Team 7 is on a motorboat, owned by Kaji, headed towards the Land of Waves. Kakashi threatens to abandon the mission if Tajuna does not provide an adequate explanation for lying about the mission's difficulty level. He tells them that an extremely wealthy businessman called Gato was responsible for his country's struggles, and could not afford any high-ranked missions. Later as they are walking, Kakashi suddenly tells everyone to duck just before a giant sword spins over them, and a ninja appears on the handle of it. The ninja identifies himself to be Zabuza Mamakai, a missing nin from Kirigakure. He demands to have Tajuna, to which Kakashi refuses. Kakashi's forced to use his Sharingan, and Sasuke immediately recognizes it, explaining along with Zabuza that Sharingan is a dojutsu that can immediately see and anticipate all ninjutsu and genjutsu. Sasuke is confused though, as only members of his clan wielded it. Zabuza then summons a thick veil of mist, and Kakashi informs his team to protect Tajuna. The tension between the two jonin causes Sasuke to have a panic attack, but Kakashi is able to calm him down. Zabuza prepares to strike the group with his sword, but Kakashi races toward them just in time. He stabs Zabuza with his kunai, but it's revealed he merely used a water clone. In turn, Zabuza slices Kakashi in half, who also turns out to be a clone. Appearing behind him, Kakashi catches Zabuza off guard, holding a kunai to his throat. With Kakashi captured in Zabuza's water prison technique, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are forced to defend against Zabuza's attacks. Kakashi tells them to run. Naruto instinctively moves to flee, but feels the pain in his hand, remembering his oath. He decides to fight to save Kakashi and keep Tajuna alive, rushing forward and retrieving his forehead protector from under Zabuza's foot. He tells Sasuke that he has a plan, and uses his shadow clone technique to completely surround Zabuza's clone. With one swing of his sword, most of Naruto's clones to scatter and disappear. The remaining Naruto passes a Fuma Shuriken to Sasuke, who senses his teammates' plan. Sasuke uses shadow shuriken technique, throwing 2 shuriken at Zabuza. Zabuza easily catches the first shuriken but only dodges the second at the last moment. Once past him, the second shuriken transforms back into Naruto, who had disguised himself to trick the superior ninja. Naruto throws a kunai at Zabuza that forces him to break his technique, freeing Kakashi from his prison. Naruto's strategy and teamwork with Sasuke is a success, and Zabuza is forced to break his hold on Kakashi to avoid their attack. Saved from Zabuza's water prison technique, Kakashi attacks his enemy with multiple water techniques copied from Zabuza using his Sharingan. Zabuza becomes agitated seeing his own techniques used against him, and Kakashi easily defeats him. Before Kakashi can deliver the finishing blow, Zabuza is seemingly killed by a young hunter nin from Kirigakure. Naruto is angry and jealous that someone so young could easily defeat an opponent that gave Team 7 so much trouble, but Kakashi says that there are many ninja younger than Naruto yet stronger than himself. The hunter nin leaves with Zabuza's body, and Kakashi collapses from exhaustion due to the overuse of his Sharingan. Kakashi is brought to Tajuna's house to recover from overuse of his Sharingan. When he wakes up, Kakashi realizes that Zabuza's death had been odd, and concludes that it had probably been an act. Elsewhere, the hunter nin, named Haku, revives Zabuza, revealing that he is in league with the missing nin. Zabuza promises to crush Kakashi when they meet again. In the meantime, both Kakashi and Zabuza need to rest for at least a week to recover from their battle. To prepare for Zabuza's likely return, Kakashi takes Team 7 to the nearby woods for training, where they learn to walk up vertical surfaces using only their chakra. Sakura performs perfectly the first time, but Naruto and Sasuke require extra training. Kakashi notices that Naruto is finally getting a good grasp on teamwork, and recognizes that Naruto's chakra is the highest of all those present. While Naruto and Sasuke try to outdo each other in their tree climbing practice, a worker of Tajuna's named Gaiachi quits, and tries to convince Tajuna to give up building the bridge. Later on their way home from a food market, Sakura is astonished by the poverty in the land of waves, and how many people want to steal her bag, which she initially thinks is a way to grab her butt. Tajuna points out that their country would be much better off if the bridge was completed and Gato removed from power. Following dinner, Naruto and Sasuke are constantly eating too fast and puking in an attempt to get stronger. Sakura asks why Inari often stares at the family photo on the wall, which is torn so that a person's face and upper body are gone. Angered suddenly, Inari leaves the table, making Tsunami go after him. Tajuna then explains that the man torn from the picture, named Kaiza, was once a hero in the land of waves and Inari's stepfather. A traveling fisherman, he initially met Inari after saving him from drowning, and Inari came to rely on him heavily to the point where he wouldn't stand up for himself. He became revered as a hero when he single-handedly saved a large portion of the village from a flood. However, when Gato arrived, he had Kaiza killed in an attempt to destroy the hope of the land, a strategy that sadly succeeded and traumatized Inari. Moved by the story, Naruto decides to show Inari that there are still heroes in the world. Haku is picking medicinal herbs in the forest when he encounters a sleeping Naruto, who is exhausted from training. He wakes Naruto, who loudly proclaims that he is training to become stronger, believing Haku to be a girl, and subsequently trying to impress her. Haku tells Naruto that only when a person has someone precious to protect, does that person become truly strong. Naruto considers this statement and enthusiastically agrees. At Tajuna's house, Sakura and Tsunami are concerned about Naruto spending the previous night all alone in the dark by himself, but Kakashi tells them not to worry. Sasuke abruptly leaves, saying he's going for a morning walk. Back in the forest, Haku leaves, after revealing his true gender to a shocked Naruto, and Sasuke shows up to check on Naruto. Scolding him for missing breakfast, the two boys continue their tree climbing practice into the evening until they finally make it to the top of their respective trees. Naruto and Sasuke return triumphantly to Tajuna's home, with Naruto cheerful, yet completely drained from the effort. Inari is disturbed at the sight of Naruto, who has exhausted himself for what Inari thinks is a futile struggle against Gato and his men. He thinks of Kaiza and tearfully tells Naruto that he only thinks he can win because he has not suffered as Inari has. Naruto tells Inari that he is a coward and leaves the table. Later that night, Kakashi tells a despondent Inari that Naruto didn't mean to hurt him. Kakashi continues to explain that Naruto is an orphan who has suffered more than Inari knows and understands Inari's pain better than anyone. The next day, Team 7 escort Tajuna to the bridge, but leave Naruto sleeping to recover from his excessive use of chakra. Once at the work site, the team is confronted by Zabuza, who has returned for round 2.2 of Gato's thugs arrive at Tajuna's house to kidnap Tsunami for leverage against Tajuna. Inari faces his fear and attempts to stop them, giving Naruto time to arrive, and an opportunity to defeat them. Before leaving to join the others at the bridge, Naruto apologizes to Inari for calling him a coward and acknowledges his bravery. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Haku fight, and Sasuke's newfound speed gives him an advantage out in the open. Zabuza comments that they will be the ones to die if this continues, urging Haku to use his demonic mirroring ice crystals. With the mirrors surrounding Sasuke, he immerses himself inside of them, throwing needles that violently cut Sasuke at various parts of his skin. Sakura attempts to save Sasuke by throwing a kunao in their direction, but Haku catches it. However, before Haku can return it, he is knocked out of the mirrors by shuriken, thrown by none other than Naruto, who got there just in time.